Hello and welcome to another update video about the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ has also broken initial micro support. I haven't covered the NASDAQ for a while. I do mainly focus on the S&P 500 and our stocks and S&P 500 service, and there are natural bandwidth limitations, but I think it's time to look at the NASDAQ because it is quite interesting given that most of these indices could have, it's not fully confirmed yet, but they could have struck a substantial top. As you can see here in this larger degree third wave, and on the S&P 500, we might look at something like a 30% decline if really a substantial correction is starting, possible bear market. Here, something similar could happen on the NASDAQ with this major wave 4, and then we could still go higher eventually, but that can take several years to play out. First of all, it's important to recognize that it's not the time to panic, but I've mentioned over recent months that it's time to prepare for such an outcome, because specifically on the S&P 500, I did post that on Twitter as well. It is possible that a nearly 100-year-long bull market is coming to an end. So if we've already hit that top or not, we'll see. But it's possible that the 1st of April or early April tops and breaks of support are the first indicators that we might have put a long-term top in place, but it's not fully confirmed yet. So we obviously need to see not only a break of support, but we need to see further confirmation. It's far too significant to rush into confirming a top. What we need to see is now next if a lower high can form. That would be further indication that a top has been struck. What I'm tracking here on the NASDAQ, and that's very similar to the SPX as well, I'm tracking a first initial A, B, C structure to the downside. This is what I'm going to watch for next week, because what we did see, I'm already on the, let's go to the 1 hour chart. What we did see is a 3-wave decline. Okay, so we can consider this a 3-wave decline in this A wave. You see that here on the chart. It would be the A wave, probably of a much larger A wave, A, B, C in wave A, and then it would over the coming, months, probably years, develop like this. This would turn into a larger A. Most A waves are 3-wave patterns, so therefore it is possible that what we see here is just the an ABC that's developing in an even larger A wave. So see that here as well. This was also a 3-wave move in what I would consider wave A. Surely, it could be something more bullish, and 3 waves down always keep the option or keep the door open for higher prices. However, because we have broken below significant previous swing lows and also below critical support levels that needed or would have needed to hold for upside trend continuation, it indicates that a top has been struck. Now, anybody who watched the last video, even though it was like a month back or a couple of months back, shouldn't be surprised, because already back then I talked about that we only really watched for one more high. That actually materialized, that actually happened. So it shouldn't have been a surprise that we have seen quite a substantial sell reaction. Now, we need to see if really this rally forms a lower high, because this would be further confirmation that a long-term top has been struck. Now, I'm counting the move up, I'm interpreting the move up as a B wave. We can first of all define a standard resistance area for this B wave, which is typically located between the 50% retracement and the 78.6 retracement, and you can see we've now reached that. Technically speaking, this B wave could easily be in now and be completed. But maybe, it's pretty much full, this wave count. So if we look at the micro patterns, again, a B wave is a 3-wave move. See this initial move up, it could have been the A wave, looks a bit like a small 5-wave move. Then this could have been the B wave, and this could now be the C wave. And then basically that means we already have 3 waves completed or nearly completed. But it basically takes minimally now a break below the last swing low at 17,670 to indicate that a top has been struck, but a break below that B wave low at 17,310 would confirm that we're heading down in the C wave. And yeah, we can already say that possibly this looks like a small 5-wave move up, but as part of a larger 3-wave move. We can add to that the Fibonacci extensions. They will help us because we can measure the length of that A wave, go to the low of the B wave, and we can see that a very, very common target for wave C in B would be the 100% extension. It's just a very common target level, the 100% extension level of the A wave. That's a C wave target, and that's at 18,000. So that is an important marker. Ideally, the price will actually get there, but it doesn't need to get there. It's not a super reliable one, but still it's one of the best we've got. And overall, the entire resistance area is relevant. It's just important to recognize that as long as the rally is corrective and in 3 waves, it keeps the door open for lower. And then if we see a break below that B wave low, as I said, that will start to open the trapdoor for lower. It's currently at 17,310, that B wave low. And if we then say, okay, what would be a possible target for that C wave? Bear in mind, that would most likely not be the end of the move down, but it could be the completion of the first large ABC structure, after which a substantial bounce should follow. So what we can do then is we take the length again of that A wave, we go to the high of that B wave, and then again, I have no top in place yet, but let's just assume the top might be in. Then a target to the downside would be 16,380. So we can prepare for some substantial declines. The condition is, of course, that the early April top stays intact. Oh, it's actually March. Okay, it's on, I think on the SPX it's April. So it's the end of March top stays intact. And if we see a 5-wave move instead of 3 waves, then we have to adjust, and it would keep the door open for higher. But for now, because we have broken initial micro support, I think several important support levels that were our signal levels that a substantial pullback could have started, it's now up to the market to prove that further by rallying correctively and forming a lower high. And if we then see a first small 5-wave move down, well, that would open the door into that price range that I just mentioned. That is my update about the NASDAQ. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you're interested in daily updates about the S&P 500, as well as regular updates about stocks, feel free to check out our stocks and S&P 500 service. You'll find the link in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.